Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
I get a lot of messages now, Chemda. There's a new podcast out from Amy Schumer entitled Three Girls, One Keith.
All right, I guess see you later, Keith. I knew I would lose you to more women.
No, I'm looking at who's part of it. And Amy, of course, is Rachel Feinstein. We know
been
her.
On our show.
Bridget Everett, Keith Robinson. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
That's really my only response. Sparrow says, I think it's a play on Two Girls, One Cup. And that is a hip 2007 reference.
You think that's what it is?
I don't know if they are debating about names and they're like, how about Three Dope Girls and a Dude? Or What the Frig? And we'll shorten it to WTF. I just think it's interesting. Anyway, my stand-up album's coming out soon. It's called Pretty Snatch Trainwreck. And I think you're all going to like it. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. That's all. Thank you for letting me know. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, you loved him, and he's back from the Late Night Alternative and the Rabbit Hole podcast. You can find that online with our best friend, Catherine Boyle. Ian Lee.
I spoke before you mentioned my name, and you'd given me very strict, let's be honest, very aggressive instructions. Do not speak until your name is mentioned.
You know what, Ian? I really wish you would just not put on this stupid accent when you're on our show.
Okay, you guys, I'm talking my real voice. Where's the coffee?
No, you heard Catherine Boyle's name. You got a little jealous. How much do we love your co-host?
Oh, Jesus. Listen, I came here a year and like maybe 2 weeks ago with her. She's kind of my producer, my lackey, does, kind of my second in command.
Right.
I'm here now on my own doing a solo tour
Right.
of American cult podcasts. And the first thing you ask is about that woman.
Yeah, we miss her.
Why?
She's
Well, the fact that you don't know is why we're bringing it up.
She's good. She's doing my radio show while I'm over here.
Look at it. It's still his radio show. His everything.
Yeah. I wanted them to keep the same name, but she insisted her name went in it while I was away. God damn that woman. Oh, I love her. She's my best friend, and I miss her.
By the way,
Yeah.
I keep seeing articles about you,
Oh, hello.
superstar. So you were on
Yeah.
I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah. Do they show that over here? Am I famous in the States?
And according to what I'm reading,
yes.
you had a mental breakdown. Now, is this true or not true, or do you just...
It's true.
Yeah?
No, what happened? So this is a show where people that were on television 20 years ago, or
Right.
people you've never heard of, pretend that they're famous and go and live in the jungle for 3 weeks. And
Right.
you eat, I had to eat a pig's vagina and all of that stuff.
And how offensive is that to the actual natives that live there?
The Australians.
Okay.
It's not that offensive. I think the Australians can dig it. But I was just put in there with some people and we didn't get on. I'm quite geeky and, into reading books and stuff.
Right.
And there was a world boxing champion and an England footballer and some other, knuckleheads. And they would say to me, so who's your team? I said, I don't have one. I don't like football. Oh, so what's your sport then? I don't really like sport. And they couldn't comprehend it. And it got
Right.
a little bit tense. I didn't have a breakdown. I had a breakdown afterwards. I went nuts afterwards.
Why so? What do you think it was? How is it related to the show?
Because it was only 3 weeks, but you're in this jungle.
Oh my
living
God,
with these
3
people.
weeks is a long time.
It is
because
a
you
long
got
time.
cameras on you whenever they want, which is 24/7.
All the time, man. They're filming you when you're asleep. They're filming you. They don't film you when you're having a shit, but you're not allowed to take your microphone off. You have to keep the microphone on. When you're
Oh
having
God,
a
I'd
shit.
be constipated for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Are you joking? I just got constipated for you. The next 3
Wow.
weeks are going to be shit for you. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Happy to help. I didn't go for 5 days because I can't. We got told off for taking our mics off, but it was intense and it was, and you're hungry and you don't eat properly and I just didn't get on with a lot of the people, so it kind of found it really lonely.
Do they pressure you guys to interact?
Yeah.
So you can't kind of sit on your own, maybe do a couple things with them just for camera.
No, your camp is tiny. It's probably maybe 4 times the size of this room, and you're all sleeping in hammocks.
So you're uncomfortable for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then
no.
you get back to the worst thing I can imagine. Then you get, after getting paid, then you get back to the regular world.
Let's just say you get paid very, very well.
Okay.
Very well. Yes.
So they don't pay you too much, but it's only 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
then you get back to the real world,
Yeah.
and you have a breakdown.
Oh, it's not a breakdown. I tell you what was funny. I was famous when I came out because it's watched by like 15 million people in the UK. It's a huge show, big, fat, late, 9:00 family show. And when I came out, kids recognised me, and the stuff, I haven't been on TV for years, and the stuff I did 20 years ago was for like 20-somethings. But the second day I came out, I took my boys to see a pantomime, a big Christmas show.
Right.
And we walked in and there was a school party in there before us. And one of them turned around and went, "Oh my God, it's Ian from the jungle." And 190 kids turned around and started walking towards me. And some of them were screaming, man. And it freaked me out.
What were they yelling?
Is that better?
Perfect.
Am I too close now?
You're great.
It doesn't matter. They just got because kids watch it. So kids watch it, and also if I say anything on my radio show, I've been doing the radio show for 15 years, and no one gives a shit. But if I say something, then it gets in the papers, So we talk about mental health and stuff like that, and suddenly it gets in the papers.
What was written out of context or exaggerated? What did they write and what really happened?
Tragic comic. They always called me tragic comic.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, well, the thing that they wrote when I was in the jungle that was a lie was that I was doing it so that I could pay for my mum's health care, because she lives in a care home. So Ian's doing this to pay for his mum's ongoing health care.
That's terrible to say, because you're going to keep all the money.
Oh, she's not getting a penny of it.
She didn't join you.
Oh, fuck her. So that was bullshit. So that, but it's always tragic, comic, drugs, relapse, all that kind of stuff. And they wrote about me getting divorced and my wife and all the stuff like that, which is weird.
It obviously starts affecting you, but do you not realize that it's affecting you?
Do I not realise being in the paper's affecting me? Or...
Yeah, until all of a sudden.
Well, it never happened before, and it did affect me. It did affect me. And here's your world exclusive, guys. After being 13 years clean and sober, I used to use a lot of drugs back in the day.
What was your drug?
Cocaine and ecstasy, man.
What were you like on cocaine?
I was
because you didn't talk faster than this.
I was as boring as everybody on cocaine is.
You're not on cocaine right now.
No, okay. I am not. But there was a lot of, what was I like on cocaine? There was a lot of talking about me, a lot of wanking going on.
On coke?
Yeah, for like a day.
You can coke wank?
Yeah. I was.
Is that just like a thing that I heard once, and I just keep thinking you can't wank on coke? Is wanking what I think it is?
Making tea.
Yeah, I make lots of cups of tea. We call it wanking in the UK.
No, you might have trouble reaching an orgasm, but you're still enjoying your body.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Until your penis gets raw. It's 24 hours of that. That's gonna smart.
Right.
That really is going to chafe a little bit around there.
So you don't miss that?
Dinklage. No, I don't miss that. So anyway, after coming out of the jungle, I thought, 13 years clean. Do you know what would be a really good idea if maybe I took some drugs again? And so I took some drugs again, and it was awful. It was a car crash.
Tell me, where did you get the drugs from? After 13 years, your dealer might have switched positions.
I got it from a different drug dealer.
Let me ask you this: back then, were you beeping your drug dealer? Has it changed that much?
Beeping.
Oh, you guys didn't have the beeping for now?
Like
beeper.
Paging?
Yes.
Paging. Oh, no, we had telephones then, I think.
Okay.
13 years ago. Yeah, I didn't page him. I texted him. But I had two dealers, because I didn't want them to know how much I was doing. So I would split it between the two so that they wouldn't think I was going absolutely nuts. I was going nuts. It was horrendous.
How much did you do in one night?
Oh, I don't... Oh,
wait,
gosh.
Can I walk you through the entire day? Please, please, please.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. When did you make the decision? You know what? 13 years, I can have a minute.
Was
it the morning of?
It was kind of. Do you know what? I don't really remember it, because it was a mess. But it was kind of. I sort of engineered a situation where I suspected there were going to be drugs, and when there were, it was like, oh, okay. Do you know what? I think I can do this. And the first hour was amazing. The first hour was incredible, because I used to take drugs because it took me out of myself, because I hate myself, and stress, and I for an hour. I had that wonderful reminiscent feeling of not being me, But then after that hour, fuck me, it was awful, It was
Why?
awful.
Where does it turn? An hour seems short.
Yeah, an hour's really short. It's disappointing.
Were you wanking already?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. It was just self-hatred. Why the fuck have I done this? I'm going to kill myself. Fuck me. Oh, let's do another line. I feel a little bit better. No, I don't. I hate myself.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah.
Are you at a party?
I was on my own. And it was just horrendous. You know, it was horrendous. And it
Does
went.
the person that gives it to you,
Yeah.
do they know, hey, this is Ian Lee? I saw him in the jungle. I don't mind, though. He says he wants to do it. He wants to do it.
Your drug dealer is not checking if you went to NA.
I don't think they didn't ask for a resume or anything like that.
Can I have your 13-year chip, please?
I don't know. You know what?
No.
To me, that's a move. You
Yeah.
know? Like, let's say, I mean,
Yeah, they're coke dealers. They're all
Yeah.
moving. They're gross.
Yeah.
I know. Is that where it gets gross? I know people that sell weed. I would like to think they wouldn't help somebody relapse
Hey,
after 13 years.
Is weed legal in New York now?
Enough.
Okay.
Enough that there's nothing to be scared about. But you see my point.
Yeah.
I would, if I looked at these friends of mine that deal and they gave to somebody that was having a hard time like this, I would think they were a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Am I the weirdo?
No. Well, yes,
I
but
mean,
not
for
for that
this.
reason. No, not for
Thank
that.
you.
You're a weirdo because of your views on Jumanji, which we'll talk about in a bit
Okay.
because you've really fucked me off.
Yeah.
But it went on for a little while, and it was horrendous. And I, was well enough after going to meetings that the day after I did it the first time, I was able to tell a couple of people really close to me, and I did it a few times, let's say, and each time I was able to tell someone very close to me, "Fuck, I've done it again," and that indicated to me that I wanted to get well, and so I started going to meetings again. And today I got my 90-day chip, guys.
Congrats.
Got my
Nice.
90-day chip. So
Did you do 90 meetings in 90 days?
fuck that. No, that's quite intense. That's quite intense. They recommend the 90 meetings in 90 days, but
I got to live a life.
yeah, I got to go out and do stuff. I don't do anything now, but I went to a lot of meetings. And
How do you feel now?
feel good? I feel really good, and the obsession is gone
Yeah?
for today. Might come back tomorrow. Who knows? I was a bit worried about coming to New York because it's a very, very naughty city. Very, very naughty. But
What did you like aside from coke? Because what's the difference? You can get coke anywhere.
Yes.
What kind of naughtiness were you like needing to stay away from or worried about?
well, booze, because booze is the key for me. Have that weed. And just shagging and stuff. Just everything that's bad for me. At the moment, I'm really struggling with food, and I'm eating a lot of food to make myself feel good or to punish myself. No, do you know what? I can live with that for now. Let me focus on the drugs and the booze and the sex. Let me focus on that and get a bit of decent, clean time around that stuff, and then I can.
Worry about a little Debbie.
Debbie.
Worry about a cupcake.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Kipling, we would call
Yes.
them. Yes, Mr. Kipling. So,
Right.
God, so sexist. We have little Debbie, thank you.
Well, Mr. Kipling makes exceedingly good cakes. There's a joke for the British listeners at home. Trust me, in England, that's a funny joke.
All right.
That's
All
a
right.
funny joke.
Pip, pip.
Pip, pip. Give me the coffee, you motherfucker.
So now do you feel like if somebody asked you how long were you sober?
Yeah.
Do you say 3 months or do you say 13 years? Because you know what they're asking.
Here's the thing. I've deliberately not told anybody that I've not specifically said I've come off the wagon until today. I've kind of hinted at it, and I kind of dropped enough clues that some people get it. And I've also specifically not said how long I've been clean for, because the fucking papers will go, oh, right, so 90 days. Let's work back 90 days. Oh, right, shit, he was there. Right, he was doing that. He's working back. Look, so this is in America, so they won't hear this in England, will they?
Only that one joke that you told.
They
That was
won't.
just for them.
I tell you, I feel bad on this trip because I brought my kids over with me, but they got confiscated at the airport and put in a cage. So so I don't know where they are. I hope those guys are okay.
But you're free, right?
Oh yeah, I'm free. I think I just picked them up at the airport tomorrow morning.
Hey, what's going on? You're on Keith and the Girl.
Hey, it's Catherine.
Catherine's my favorite.
That's a surprise.
How you doing, Catherine?
I'm really good. I think we're on a slight delay, so I've missed probably about 2 minutes with. But he seems to be defending himself quite well.
He's doing fine. Sometimes, he's one of these guys. He talks fast, so we do have to attack him quickly. So defend is actually the right word to use. When you see Ian tweeting out or rating on social media, I don't know if my show is any good and I still have talent anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a mess. I don't even think I'm right for this world.
Do it in my voice. Do those tweets in my voice.
Pip, pip. Then do you want to take him aside and go, hey, Ian, my name's on the show too. Maybe we can talk about if we've both been clever and interesting and full of art lately. How about that? Is it a little out of line?
You're assuming I don't do that. But yeah, that's absolutely what happened.
And what's he say?
Oh, Kath, you know what it's like, Twitter and that.
Right.
I can't help
Right,
myself.
hang on a second, right?
it's,
So hang on, Kath. I haven't got a fucking fader to cut you off, which is outrageous behaviour. But I'll reach over there.
Good.
But she's been filling in my. So we do this show weeknights, 10 o'clock in the UK, yeah. And so
it's just my livelihood.
it's just so I'm the host and she's the producer, and I kind of let her play co-host with me, you know. And
honest to God, half the time during the show, we're texting each other.
Oh,
so.
yeah. But she.
So what? I'm texting Ian the other half.
So I get. Will you? Oh, everyone, just shut the fuck up for a minute, please.
No.
Jesus. So I tweet all this angst stuff and our self-hatred. No, I've lost it. Right. But then she's been doing my show. She's done the show 3 nights, and already on Twitter, she's turned into me. She's calling people shits. She's blocking people. I don't know if the show's funny. I don't know if I'm any. She's doing it. Okay. You're doing it, Boyley.
Well, this is what happens. I've not said that I don't think the show's any good. I've told people there are.
You've not said it on Twitter. You've said it to me. You've said it to me on the phone. And I agreed.
But that's a little different to go, hey, I was in the moment. I can't tell how the show went. Or going on Twitter, I can tell I've been wasting your life for 3 years.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the two.
Yeah,
and you get that, don't you? I mean, Keith and Hemda, you work together. And, of course, when it's just about you two hanging out, it's very difficult to quantify how good a show is sometimes.
Right. It's hard. For me, it's hard sometimes, whether it's just us. It's hard if there's other people. Yeah. And, of course, we talk about the show in private together every single time. Yeah. But Kenda's not going to find out an opinion I had about the show off of social media.
Well, that's where you're going wrong. That's where you're going. This is how you should be communicating, is to your tens of thousands of followers, and that way she gets the true you. That's how I see it. But I've had a revelation
I always think behind a great man there's a great woman rolling her eyes, and in that case, I am the woman rolling her eyeballs.
Yeah, but then when you're behind me, be quiet. I'm speaking, please. When you're behind me rolling your eyes, I'm in front of you rolling my balls, and you can't see it.
Well, no, everyone can see that. Okay. The problem is that no, not the problem. I often think that at least you're saying it out loud, and actually I'd rather you were saying it to someone. I'd rather you said it just to me personally, but if it has to be Twitter, then at least you're saying it out loud, and that's got to be healthy, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess it's got to be somebody, right? It's just a little disrespectful. It's not his best friend. So when you see, you know who he reminds me of, honestly, Ian? Robin Williams. Very fast, very quick.
Tragic comic Robin Williams.
And this is what I'm learning now. The older I get, the more somebody has an Ian-like personality, right? The life of the party, the more they're damaged and the more they're crying into their pillow. And are we worried about Ian?
He's looking directly at me. They're both looking directly at me, Catherine, as they say that. Be worried, because I watched a program about a serial killer last night, and they've got that look in their eyes. I'm fucked.
Here's the deal. I've seen a lot of kind of biopics where there's been a genius who has been damaged and who has been pushed onto stage despite the fact that they're about to destroy themselves. And you always think to yourself, why haven't I got a friend telling me to shut up? Or, I try to be that friend. That's my deal. And there have been times, Ian, I think you'll back me up on this one, where I've said to you, it's not right for you to go on air, and we've worked it out together. Yeah. But for the most part, I'd rather you just express yourself out loud, and whether that is, on the show, we're very honest. On Twitter, I'd rather you spoke to me, as I said earlier on, than Twitter straight away. But if I'm seeing it on Twitter, at least you're saying it out loud, and that's always a good thing, right?
When Keith was drinking, like 10 years ago, we were in the middle of we had just broken up, and we couldn't really tell anyone, and it was we had to figure out how to move out of each other's spaces and into like 3 different spaces and stuff like that. And I think we were both throwing ourselves into our own personal addictions. I would check online if Keith was dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would, because he would have these like long parties where everyone is just really partying. So I would, and maybe that was my own thing. Like, I'm not saying like Keith made me feel a certain way, but because I didn't understand the disease. I didn't understand my feeling towards it. I didn't understand how much I was trying to control it, or how much if I watch him, he won't die. Or if I come back home earlier, even though we're not together, he'll feel a different way, until I had to just stop that altogether.
Yeah.
I completely get that, and I've read, you know, I was a geeky kid at school, so I was never the cool one. And if someone had, you know, my way of dealing with problems, even though I've never been the one who's been out partying, and well, I did a bit, but I never got to the point where Ian's been. But the way I understand addiction is through researching it, and so, you know, I work with him all the time. And
well, here's what I'm thinking. What do you think about this one? What do you think about this, Catherine? Closed circuit Twitter. So we set up an account for him. He thinks it's going somewhere. It's only going to you. And then a computer program hits like, retweet.
Well, listen, I've had a revelation. I do think Twitter is addictive. I think it works on the same level as doing coke or smoking crack. It's hits.
It's been proven.
Oh, it's been proven, yeah. And there's going to, you know, there will be 12-step groups for social media, and I guarantee it, because it does the same thing. It makes us feel good about ourselves, then we loathe ourselves, and we're comparing ourselves, and all of that shit. But I've had cut her off. I've had a revelation about Twitter, and it's from watching two documentaries. There's the Mr. Rogers documentary I watched the other day. Fucking hell, man! We didn't have Mr. Rogers in the UK. And
did you know who he was?
I was aware of him, and I feel bad that I just said effing hell about Mr. Rogers. That's terrible.
He's feeling it.
He's feeling it.
He just took off his shoes again.
But he was. That was an inspiration, right? And I was watching it because you said before that we started, Keith, that in the UK we have a history of kids TV presenters from the 60s and 70s. They all ended up being paedophiles, all of them, every single one. That's not even an exaggeration. So I was watching this film, waiting for the pedo moment.
And that's why you cried. You're just like, oh.
What a waste of money. There's none. And there wasn't. It was just a really nice guy. He's a Christian minister, but he kind of kept that out of it. A really nice guy that genuinely believed that all kids deserve love and respect and honesty. That's it. Fucking hell.
He was the only guy in our history.
What an amazing... Everyone else. But what an amazing concept. And there's a documentary coming out about this English guy called Frank Sidebottom, he's a performance artist with
Sidebottom?
A big paper mache head. If you Google him, he's amazing. And he's died, and he was kind of a friend of mine. And his whole act was...
You wait to say all that after I go Frank Sidebottom?
Yeah. He used to talk like that. And his whole act was just lovely. And so basically what I'm trying to say is I'm going to turn Twitter into an echo chamber of love. Are you with me?
Oh, no, you're having another nervous breakdown.
No.
That is delusional.
I'm turning it into an echo chamber of love. And all I'm going to tweet from now on, until I get bored and move on to the next thing, is I'm going to tweet love, I'm going to tweet art, I'm going to tweet beauty and achievement. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm into it.
Keith?
Catherine, how long can this last?
5 minutes.
Fuck you, Boyley!
Well, anyway, I'm going to let you go, Catherine, and I'm sorry you're not here, but he is, and we're going to try to have some fun anyways, all right?
What I was going to say to you is that whole idea of him tweeting me first, like the alert, would be massively helpful for him, but not too helpful to me. So,
Cut her off.
yeah,
Cut her off.
But yeah, all power to him. I'm glad he's there. I wish I was there. You know, it would be more sensible if I was, and next time it will be me, right?
That's right. Done and done.
Bye,
fair.
Catherine. Nice to talk to you. Thanks for getting into my interview. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
Up yours.
Yeah, get
right
stuffed.
Up yours.
Right up yours. That's English for really up yours.
Right up yours, yes.
You have talked about being molested when you were a kid.
Oh, yeah.
How it affected relationships with male authority figures, right? And I heard...
Is all this stuff online or something? How do you know this? Like you're looking into my mind.
Well, I heard your interview. We, on Keith and the Girl, we talked about the American manager of a small-town radio station that gave out advice for years about how to hide and why you should hide your child porn.
Yeah.
And
like tips and tricks.
Public service announcement.
Yeah, don't let them catch you. Here's how they won't catch you.
Put it on a hard drive, hide the hard drive. Don't make your family go through the anguish of them finding out that you have this child porn. You shouldn't be put in jail for having pictures at the same rate that a murderer is going to jail.
I honestly believe this is how we grew up. Yeah. I think people forget that when we were younger, and I think it still is the case a lot now, but it's a little bit more out in the open. But I remember... You know, the scenario was always the kid told about the molestation, if they even spoke.
Yeah.
And then the adults were like, you better keep it. How dare you say that about Uncle so-and-so? You know, oh, no, it didn't happen sort of thing. Like, oh, maybe you're making it up. Like, oh, so-and-so would never do it. There was no like, what? There was no outrage. There was outrage towards the kid, and everyone just stayed quiet.
I had a girlfriend years and years ago who I was I think I was the second person she ever told that her dad had raped her. And I didn't know I was like 24. I didn't know how to respond to that. And after a while, I suggested it might be a good idea to tell her mum about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Fuck, that was a terrible mistake because her mum totally took the dad's side, hated me for encouraging her to bring it forward, thought it was made up, and it kind of she stayed with the dad, you know, and it ripped that family apart for
and
years.
that was more normal than anything else.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I think what happens is we hear about sexual misconduct, or we even hear about like the kind of sex that we don't like, and we picture us in that scenario and we can't handle it.
Yeah.
And I think we need to stop that, and we just need to go, wow, how are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you know, the stuff that happened to me, I was 8 and it didn't happen very long and I wasn't raped, you know, and this is me trying to kind of minimalize it. You know, comparatively it was very little, but it was fucked up. And I've got an 8-year-old boy, and if I found out someone, you know, I would be mortified if someone did to my 8-year-old something they did to me, because I look at my boy and he's a baby. He's a baby, you know, and he is willing to please and wants to please an adult. And that is, you know, is what was, you know, that was what was played on.
And we were also teaching a lot of that. Now we teach kids, I think, a little bit, or we're trying to, a little bit of pushback. Just because that person is taller, older, you know, that doesn't mean they have like full authority over anything, you know.
But it's hard, an 8-year-old telling a big grown-up, and there were several grown-ups in my scenario, there's a family of grown-ups, to an 8-year-old telling, you know, and this was away from home, this was at a camp as well, so you're fucking isolated in the middle of the woods, nowhere. And I'm getting a tight chest thinking about it. I could never say no. No, I'm not doing that. I couldn't say that. You know, they won.
The guy was 44. You were 8. You were. I bring up the guy at the Arizona radio station, Paul Lotsoff. On your show, you were able to reach him, and you're talking to him on the phone. And how, after this happens to you, you're able to keep your composure for the most part.
I lost it a bit at the end.
I didn't even think so. When you apologize, now I don't know the radio rules over there, but when you apologize for the audience because you said a word like bugger off, I'm like, who cares?
Do you know what? I apologize. I described a very specific sexual act between an adult and a child, and that was the thing that I felt perhaps crossed the line. I shouldn't have painted that picture. But yeah, no, that Kath heard that, because I don't listen to your show, Kath, because you annoy me, Kath. No, I do. Kath heard that guy on your show,
right.
So we played it out, and it's an amazing bit. It talks about naked juveniles, and we're like, fuck it. You know, the show is quite spontaneous, so we thought, fuck it, on air, we're going to find this guy's number, and we phoned him up, and he answered the phone, and
he was having a pretty casual conversation
he was laughing.
with you. Yeah,
like, it's a bit of fun, and it's, you know, I don't think, you know, I said, have you got pictures of naked kids? Well, I might have some somewhere, and I shouldn't go to prison for it. He was loving it. He was loving it.
I want to play a little bit of that at the end of this show. But there was a moment that I thought was extra. Well, I don't know the words extra, but I thought was interesting or funny when you go, oh, I can't even believe this. Anyway, let's think about that during this commercial break. And I'm like, picture if I was a sponsor. What? We'll go to some adverts right now and let's think about what we heard. Disgusting.
But we are sponsored by child abuse online sites.
Oh, okay.
So I take that back immediately. Sponsors, we love you. Thank you.
So you were talking about, you know, part of your act out is sexual, right?
Yeah.
And so do you go to sex and love addicts or any kind of sexual compulsion?
You know, I don't. I kind of no, I don't. I do it all in NA, and AA is kind of the thing, and it's not, you know.
It's the same, like, here's how I feel about myself. I'm going to act out in one way.
Yeah, for me, NA.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Narcotics Anonymous, guys. Those who don't know. For me, it kind of covers it all, really. And I'm working with a really good therapist, you know, who's an addiction specialist. And but I don't know, it's hard work being alive, isn't it? And all of these things, all of these behaviours, the drugs and the sex, it's all ways that I've learned to cope with life. You know, somewhere along the line.
Are you cutting yourself when you do it?
No. Do you know what? I cut myself once.
No, I mean, like, is this a version of cutting yourself?
Oh, it's the same thing. I tried cutting myself once, and it fucking hurt. And I thought, I can't. I can't do that. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's a coping mechanism that I have learned. You know, from the age of 8, possibly younger onwards. My thinking, instead of following this straight line, has kind of been skewed. Partly because of what happened when I was 8. Partly because my dad was. Was not a great dad and was off having kids with loads of other women. We found out later on. So all of these things I've learned to try and numb the pain, and they've kept me alive. Doing coke and jagging and all of these things have kept me alive, but it's not a sustainable lifestyle, and it's not who it's not who I know I am inside and all of that shit.
How can you tell the difference? And this is such a weird question, but how can you tell the difference who's you and who's the recovering, like which one of you, because you're fighting you all the time.
Yeah.
Are you fighting to the core of you, or are you fighting just to constantly keep the addict in check? Which one speaks to you?
I'm not fighting to keep the addict in check. It's all about. Do you go to? You don't go to 12 steps. You got. Can I ask this? If I can't ask it, then tell me to sod off. You got sober.
Oh, what can I tell you to do?
Sod off.
Sod off.
You can sod off or piss off.
Piss off.
How did you get sober?
I punched him.
Wow.
I finally can control it, you guys.
The secret for me is the one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, saying literally, I'm not going to drink today. Tomorrow I will.
Yeah.
And then, of course, tomorrow you lie to yourself again. Now, once I catch on that I'm a chronic liar, I'm going to start drinking.
Yeah, it's that thing is you can't say, I'm not going to drink for the next 10 years because you
Right.
go fucking nuts. But
Right.
it's, I'm not going to have a drink today. I know that much.
I'm not anti-meetings. I just haven't.
Okay.
I just haven't gone.
Why have you not?
Probably laziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a faff to go to them.
It's
What does faff mean?
hard to do.
Oh, okay.
It's a to-do to go to them.
It's a faff. I like faff.
I'll go to one and
It's a faff.
maybe it's standing room only and I literally can't hear the person speaking on stage or I'm just bored out of my mind. Now, I know I don't bring this up because it's a dumb excuse, but to me, that's the reason why I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to waste an hour. Now, if it helped me, it wouldn't be a waste, of course, but I just haven't.
But exactly. And if what you're doing now is working and doing what you want it to do, then that's because AA is not for everyone. NA is not for everyone. Therapy's not for everyone. Listen, these things are working.
None of these.
For me.
Working on yourself is not for
Well,
everyone.
but you find your own. You find your own thing. Some people it's Christianity. That some people get sober through doing that. If that works for you, and if you're happy doing that. If that makes your life better, then that's fantastic,
I'm dating now. That takes up a lot of time.
There we go.
Ruining some sheets, but
in
general,
fuck it,
man, it's going all right.
All righty, yeah.
When you announced that you're going through a divorce, recently, but meanwhile, it really happened a couple years ago. Can you imagine if you really announced it at the time?
Yeah.
For example, Hemd and I, we mentioned separating.
Yeah.
And the audience got upset at us. Like, oh, well, if you guys can't make it, how am I supposed to make it? They took it personally, like we just dumped them. Yeah. And it's like, well, thank God I didn't tell you when it really happened as I was going through it. Do you think about that now?
No, I don't think about it. I kind of, the thing we do on the radio show, me and Kathy, is we're too honest. We're too honest. And I reveal too much of myself. And I'm just learning to play some cards close to my chest, really. And when I was in the jungle, all the papers were sniffing around. Before you go in the jungle, you get interviewed by the press, and one of the journalists said, "So will you be looking for romance in the jungle?" And I said, "No, I'm married." Right. "Oh, but you're not wearing a wedding ring." I went, "Yeah, no, I don't. I choose." And straight, so
were you already separated?
Yeah, and so straight away they're sniffing around, and they're fucking knocking on my wife's door and knocking on my mother-in-law's door, going, "What's this about them getting divorced?" And I've never had that kind of scrutiny before. While you
were in the jungle.
While I was in the jungle, yeah.
And you couldn't reach them, and they couldn't.
I didn't know what was going on. You're completely isolated until you come out, and your mother-in-law phones you up and says, "Ian, there were the press knocking on my door. What was that about?"
Did she know?
She knew then. Yeah, she knew then. Yeah.
So are side shows going on? Like they'll cut to the studio, and maybe the studio's breaking this news while you're eating a
No,
coconut?
coconut would have been delicious. No, all of that stuff is kind of fueled by the papers. So all that stuff was happening in the papers, and that shit sells papers, which is crazy. Who gives a shit about whether I'm married or not, or where I'm living, or who gives a shit?
I wonder if I get it. It is too much, but who gives a shit about you figuring out how to build a ladder? Do you know what I mean?
A ladder?
Yeah, now a walkie-walk. So who cares if you have to put a canoe together? Why do I care? Well, you got me invested, so now I care about you. Hey, I wonder if this guy's married.
A walkie-walk?
Yeah, you know how you call it.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
A walkie-talkie?
A steppy stoop. Right? Like if you have to reach something high, what do you get on?
A stretch.
A wallabout stretch.
A wallabout stretch,
Yeah.
yes. We're talking about wallabout stretches. I didn't realise. If you fucking said wallabout stretch
Right.
to start with, Keith,
But you see
said
what I mean?
walkie-walkie.
It's like, who cares that Tiger Woods was cheating on his wife? Okay, but who cares that Tiger Woods is showing me he wears a watch? Do you know what I mean? The whole game's stupid.
Kendra, have you got any questions that you'd like to ask that make sense?
I'm on your side. I'm just saying I could understand why
The
people
fuck is your problem with Jumanji? That film...
That film was made. I'm not exaggerating when I say this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
Yeah,
The new remake of Jumanji.
yeah, better than the old one.
It was made for 8-year-old kids with Asperger's so that they can figure out and relate what emotion is.
Right.
And then they put so much money into it that they had to get the money back by making it an actual movie.
Right.
And you, as an adult,
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I fucking did.
Look into you.
I'm looking into me. I like adventure. I like fun. I love The Rock. He's such a good actor. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. I took my kids. We had a great time. What in the trailer? One of the trailers before the film, they had the word "fuck" in it. That was a little bit uncomfortable, but it was a great movie.
What do you care if your kids hear the word "fuck"?
Yeah. They don't know the word "fuck" yet.
But like, and then they do, and then what happens?
I think he saw a different movie. I don't know what trailer for Jumanji had the word
No,
fuck
the
in
trailer for Jumanji didn't.
It had the word fanny in
There
it.
was a
and to
trailer.
you-
There was a trailer for a different film before Jumanji that had the word "fucking." No, my kids don't know the word "fuck." The other day, my eldest. I asked my kids the other day, do you know what swear words are? Well, we've heard about them. They're like bad words. The worst swear word they can come up with was cunt. No, it wasn't. It was stupid. That was the worst word they could come up with. And my eldest came up to me the other day and said, "Daddy, why is this bad?" And I said, "What's behind your hand?" He went,
The other finger.
the
Middle
finger.
finger.
He said, "Why is that bad?" I said, "Because Americans are dicks, son. That's why. It should be this, the 2 fingers. It's what the Queen wants. She wants 2 fingers. Give her 2 fingers."
Well, if
Is this
that
going
bitch
out on
wants
air?
2
Is this
fingers.
being broadcast?
Not now. Not now.
So the queen likes 2 fingers, does she?
Do you know? I know you're making a very rude joke. I'm going to laugh at it because I'm human, but you will be killed after this.
Is that your human laugh?
That's my human laugh.
When you like
so I
the-
blend in.
When you like the movie Jumanji,
Yes, sir.
then let's say you see a movie that's actually good. Does your head explode from all the enjoyment?
You can't bully me. I was bullied by the world boxing champion Amir Khan. You can't bully me. It was a great film. Right. Okay. Let's work backwards.
Okay.
The first Jumanji is very slow and boring, right?
Okay, I was 8, but okay.
Yeah, but you only watch films the year they come out. You've never seen like an old film on, I don't know, Netflix or television or video.
I don't know how much I'll remember. I do remember enjoying it very much.
Okay, well, it was shit.
Okay.
Right? The new one is
Yes.
fast-paced,
Fast-paced.
funny.
I walked out 1/3 into the movie, so we
'Cause
can only
you're-
talk
you're
about
a
the
prick.
first third.
So you didn't even see them become the Jumanji characters.
No.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's when it goes from great to exemplary. That movie was exemplary. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up.
I gotta look at
Up
an
your
English
ass.
dictionary.
2 more fingers for the queen.
Oh, please. Can we leave the Queen's vagina and possibly anus out of this?
All right, I do, since you brought up the cages on our borders
Yeah.
and how we're separating children.
Well done,
from,
you. It's about time someone did.
Well,
I hate kids.
You know what? Let me bring this up. And John Burchard, he rates a great point about this. He says, "Guys, this is just regular politics. Soon a Democrat will be president and will kidnap thousands of their children to negotiate for our wall. That's just how politics work."
That's
and that
the
is
spirit.
a great point. It is a great point. You know that when
We all need to just calm down, everybody.
Now here's what
Kids are going to be kidnapped. They're going to be thrown in cages.
Otherwise,
Honestly,
they wouldn't
this
call
is-
it kidnapped.
This is what I picture.
Yes.
Whenever Trump and the administration is explaining, hey, this is how we have to have secure borders. We have to separate these criminals, even if it means separating children from the adults. Well, we tried the adults and leave the kids in cages crying. And then I would see on TV an ad for a local politician saying how they agree and support what's going on. Because if you're a Republican, you have to agree with most everything if you're running for some kind of office. Then the next thing you know, a couple days go by and Trump says, okay, this is overwhelming. We can't do this anymore. We're going to stop this. But guess who's hung out to dry? Your local politician. And I think that's the greatest thing, because these idiots don't understand that the president is in it for the long haul. 4 years, 8 years. He could say whatever the fuck he wants and turn it around. Not you, local politician. You have to think. You can't come out now and go, oh, that ad I just put out? No. But the president can, and that's the difference. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. And I'm always at a loss for words. It's like, I know that you're right, but what you're right about is that the president could literally say anything, take it back the next day, and we're all like, thanks for freeing the kids. Thanks for freeing the kids. You locked them up.
Your president is coming to our country soon. If you give me
Lock him out.
If you give us £50, I know a man with a shooter. I know someone with a shooter, and let's just say
I said fingers in the Queen, but I did not say kill her now.
No, I'm not killing the Queen.
Sure.
When the money is exchanged, we'll clarify who we're killing. But I think it's the president we're killing.
Is it?
It's not the Queen.
We'll work it out later.
Okay. If it's the Queen, I can't go back.
I don't even know what a
feel
shooter
very
means in
uncomfortable.
English.
Right?
Brenda, then stop talking.
Is that a shot? Is that like a shot of whiskey? Because I don't think you're allowed that.
A shooter is what you guys probably call a gun.
I don't even. What?
Hey, guess who? I shook hands with yesterday. One of the Dukes of Hazzard.
No.
I'm living the American dream. I went to.
No, his name is Trump.
No, I went to 54 Below, which I believe is a cabaret bar, and I watched some people saluting the magic of Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
And one of them was one of the Dukes of Hazzard boys.
The blonde or the brunette?
The brunette.
Okay.
And then he came and sat down next to me, and he went, hi. I think his name was Tom. Hi, I'm Tom.
Yeah.
I went, I'm Ian. He said, oh, where are you from, eh? I said, I'm from jolly old England, London. I'll be in London in July signing autographs for the Dukes of Hazzard. I went, oh, I do a radio show. You should come on it. And he looked at me and went, and then just turned away. I was blown out by a Duke boy.
That's classic Tom Wopat.
Yeah. Tom Walpott, that was the fella, yeah. So you know his name and everything.
They're hardcore Republicans. Luke and Bo or whatever.
Because the Confederate flag on the General Lee.
Yeah, that wasn't just an act.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping they were just actors saying their lines.
Oh, no, are they?
I didn't know.
Oh yeah, they're all for kid stealing and whatnot.
Okay.
You want to hear something? Like when we first moved into the country, my parents would. This show was very popular, and so we would watch it, but we didn't even know what we were watching.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, so we didn't know what the Confederate flag was. My parents hardly spoke English, and I hardly spoke English, I think. Yeah, and I don't know why everyone was losing their minds over this, except for the way that they got into their car, and that's the only thing I understood.
Yeah. That was because it was cool, and cool is the universal language.
Yeah, but I didn't even know what good old boys meant. You know what I mean?
Well, hang on, what does it mean? Racists.
Yeah.
Just racist slave owners. Is that what it?
Never meaning no harm.
Yeah, when you have to sing about how you don't mean no harm, you're doing harm.
They don't pay you too much when you work on the farm. What are you gonna do?
Those were the lyrics, weren't they?
Wow.
Somehow my immigrant family missed that.
Wowzers.
So to visit one of these camps, Melania Trump is dressed in a jacket that says on the back, it's like a designer jacket, I really don't care. Do you? And I'm sure you saw this in the news. We'll put it on the website.
And we all know that she doesn't just throw on a jacket, right? Like everything is very...
Well, I have pictures of staff members walking behind her as she's about to travel to Texas. What is this is like best case. Best case is she's a moron. And people tried to say something and she would just dismiss them, and so they gave up, right? That is the best case, that she is a big idiot.
And if you break the case like that, you're fired. Oh, that's your case? That's the case you built?
Liz McGee writes, Melania, I'll take this one. And the dresser says, are you sure? How about one of these many jackets that don't say anything? You don't think it's weird that this jacket says something, let alone that? No, I like this one. Okay.
It was the joke that was doing Twitter. Her press person said, there's no hidden meaning in this jacket. And I was going, no, it's not fucking hidden. It's there. It's right there. It's not hidden. That's an incredibly stupid thing. But then did Trump come out and say that she was trolling the press? So at the same time, this is how much they talk.
Melania's communications director says, quote, "It's a jacket. There's no hidden meaning. After today's important visit to Texas, I hope the media isn't going to choose to focus on her wardrobe, much like they did her high heels last year." And Trump says the jacket referred to the fake news media, that Melania was learning how dishonest the media is, and is saying, "I no longer care." That's how
you're still fucking dumb as fuck, and that's not the truth.
Right.
Even I can see it. Thank you, everybody.
But because I thought that she was the good guy, good cop, bad cop, because the stories that we're getting in the UK is that they don't see each other. They certainly don't sleep together. They're not in the same city as each other, and that I thought she was quite. Privately,
like the meek little...
Yeah, not even meek, was privately dissing him and saying that some of his policies were stupid and
I feel like
hurtful.
if she was dissing him, it's just like this ball and chain that I have to keep fucking whatever.
He'll keep fucking.
I doubt it. No. She doesn't have to do shit anymore.
But why are you saying? Let's say it is that it's a hidden thing, like a wink to us, saying I'm not down with the president.
No.
Hold on, wait. That's what you're saying, though, right? No one's saying this.
Please don't put words into my mouth.
All right.
What I'm saying is, I thought up until this point of the jacket,
I see,
that she was supposed to be kind of on our side, realizing that her husband's a racist old dick.
I understand that confusion because she's not on his side, but then it makes it look like she's on our side. But I think she's just on her side.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
Like sometimes everything's right and wrong at the same time.
Let's all just go and live in Russia.
Let's do coke.
Oh man, Russian coke, guys. Anyone?
That's snow out there.
I'm joking. I'm not.
Chris Reagan says, "Relax. Melania has until Labor Day to wear white supremacy." All right, so everybody knows the fashion rules. Come on.
Just some good old boys.
So then Ivanka tweets out.
Wow, that was a nice little. There's a bit of respect for the singing there.
After Trump says, look, we have to bring these families together.
Yes.
Entire world that's telling me that. So now we are going to. And so Ivanka, the daughter, says, "Thank you, at POTUS, President of the United States, for taking critical action ending family separation at our border. Congress must now act, plus find a lasting solution that is consistent with our shared values."
Did she say final solution?
The same values that so many come here seeking as they endeavor to create a better life for their families. Now, first of all, as if she has to try so hard to get that dick of his. But secondly, this reminds me of when I was in school, and I would get to class early and draw a big dick on the chalkboard.
Oh,
the teacher would come in, be shocked by it, and I'd raise my hand and say, "Can I please erase that?" And I'd get up and erase the dick, and she would thank me. That's what's going on.
Honestly,
here.
Keith, that is my favorite metaphor of all time.
you.
It is, I'm not even kidding. It is the exact equivalent. I don't know.
But did you erase the dick so that you could
A
still see
follow-up
the
question?
outline? You could still see the outline of the dick just in chalk rubbings.
Is a dick made out of eraser?
Beautiful, beautiful. Was your dick spunking? Did you do spunking cocks over here? Or
Sure. You draw a couple lines.
Okay,
Always.
yeah, we call them a crying cactus in the UK. Yeah.
Oh, we call it a dick.
Because we do hairs on the balls.
Yeah, we do hairs on the balls.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I shaved my balls for the first time the other day.
And
For your first time, did you ever trim it?
I've never trimmed it before. Never. This is now I'm single. I can do what the hell I want with my testicles. They're mine. And I got clippers and I gave them a little trim. It looked funny.
All the way down?
What do you mean all? Well, not to. Well.
What clipper? Number one, number two?
There was no clip. There was nothing. So zero. But I didn't go. So I nipped myself a few times.
Yeah, I bet.
So be careful, guys. Be careful, Keith. But I will happily.
I'm good.
Do you do yours?
I cut them.
With scissors, nail scissors.
No, with an axe.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm masculine.
Dirty boy. We're trying to have a decent.
I like him calling you a dirty boy.
Dirty boy. We're trying to have a grown-up conversation about men's. It's Pride Day today,
and
you're actually celebrating Shame Day instead of Pride.
When you shave your balls,
yes, sir,
and your ex hears this, does she go, "Oh, now you do"?
Now you do it. Yes, I've only done it once, and I felt like a pervert because,
sure,
in my day, people didn't shave their pubic hair, and now everybody's doing it.
Well, I'm I guess single. I don't know how to say it yet, but we're separated. And I'm just like, whoa. I've never been completely bald. I buzz, and I'm like, from what I understand, everyone expects a bald completely bald veg, and I cannot do that.
Good for you.
I can't. I don't know why you want that. It's like a little too clean.
No. Good for you. Is it like a little landing strip?
A bigger landing, like a bigger airplane.
Because
not to brag.
We don't want anyone crashing into anything.
But I grew up in, the porn I watched was in the 80s, and it was hair everywhere, and that's still, the first time I saw a shaven raver, I believe, is the thing. Oh, it's terrifying.
It's so detailed.
It's very upsetting. No, bring back the bush is what I say. That's my tip.
You're controversial over there.
Retweet.
Hashtag bush.
The Pope is saying that separating the family at the borders is immoral. And, when the Catholic Church thinks you're cruel to children, just at least wake up. Just wake up.
Just rub your eyes a little.
Yeah, that's all.
You could still yawn, but, try to stay awake.
You may have heard that Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders and 7 members of her family were in Lexington, Virginia, kicked out of the Red Hen, a restaurant, farm-to-table restaurant, a little high-end. And
it's so funny that's high-end.
Right. The owners wouldn't serve them, and they threw them out. And I have no problem with it. I think it's perfectly fine. On Tuesday, Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen was forced to leave a Mexican restaurant after a noisy group of protesters confronted her and people that she was with, and the restaurant was fine with that too. Fantastic. How can you sit there and stomach evil shit going on? Like, I gotta serve you food. Get the fuck out of town.
Why were they eating Mexican food? Surely they would be.
Right.
That's the complete opposite of what they want. They want American food. They want the Colonel.
Right. Isn't that what the rapists have brought in?
Yes, dirty rapist food.
Yeah. Just eat your burger and go home.
Yeah, you have things that you can't kick somebody out based on, right? Race, color, religion, national origin, disability. But when it's just evil, I'm fine with you being kicked out. Yeah. There
was the controversy about.
Say that word again.
What's
a boot?
What's the?
Are you Canadian?
What's the?
The rigmarole.
What's all this brouhaha?
The hullabaloo.
Yes. What's all this fandango about Seth Rogen not having his photograph taken with an American politician? How come I know an American story better than you? So Seth Rogen, the actor, right?
Yep.
He was at some.
I don't know actors though.
He was got beard. He's not funny anymore. He does stoner comedies. Okay. That sums him up.
I know who you mean.
You are going to be great at the YouTube exclusive after show.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
And so he was invited by some Republicans to go and give a talk about Alzheimer's, like some do, because he's kind of involved with Alzheimer's charities.
Right.
So he went and he gave this talk. And these 2 guys, like in their late teens, 16, 17, came up and said, "Oh, can we get a picture with you?" We're a big fan. He said, yeah, of course. They had the picture. And then they said, "Oh, can we get a picture with our dad?" And they pointed to their dad.
Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan.
That's exactly. He read my mind. Yes, I was just about to say it. And Seth Rogen went, "Well, no, I'm not going to have a picture with you, Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, because I think you're evil, and I think la 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 la." And he kind of stormed off. And I only know about this because I love your Fox News. It's so good.
Don't look at me like it's my Fox News.
It's so good to get unbiased reporting. But I was watching this, and they were having a debate about Seth Rogen. And I think there were 2 hosts who were against him. And they had a panel of 3 or 4, and 2 of the panel were against him, and one of them was like sort of ambivalent. And they were just laying it. How dare he humiliate, this guy in front of his kids? And it was huge. They were getting very upset about it.
Yeah, I am perfectly fine with that. Make your statement. You don't got to be a dancing monkey for something don't agree with. What I'm enjoying is major producers and directors that work for the regular Fox channel, which doesn't necessarily have an agenda. They're saying, hey, Fox News is so evil and related to the network Fox that I think we're going to take our show somewhere else.
Wow.
The creator of Modern Family saying separating kids and reporting lies about it on Fox News is disgusting. I'm going to take my hit show away. Let's see who else.
And also,
Judd Apatow.
Also, people that used to be funny are moving to another channel. Okay, right. Shows that are about to get cancelled. Right,
this shouldn't be embarrassing to you. You are supposed to be a leader, and a comedian didn't want to take a picture with you because of your political stance.
Yeah.
Stand up and go, I feel you. Like, that is what America is about, that you don't have to take a picture and I don't get butthurt.
That's a legitimate protest. People, and the thing of the argument on the news
protest,
was...
I don't... You know what? My hair's not good. Get out of my face with pictures.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
Fox were trying to go, it was in front of his kids, making it out they were like 5 and 6. They were young men, you know. It wasn't like your dad's a prick to a 5-year-old. It was... I'm all for, owning yourself. You don't want your picture taken.
Also, so what if somebody calls your dad a prick?
Yeah, well...
So what?
Well,
somebody thinks your dad's a prick.
People have done that to me in front of my kids, and it's quite humiliating. Keith, what else have you got?
I don't know. I look at
It's actually true.
I look at the two
Stop being a
sides.
prick.
Let's say the red team and the blue team. And when I hate listen to Dennis Miller's podcast. And there's something about it that I must like that I'm listening to it. But you know what? When I was young, I used to think Dennis Miller was very clever and very smart, and I just didn't get it. Now I'm older, and I'm like, oh no, all these analogies do not make sense.
I don't know who Dennis Miller is. Is he the killer?
He's the killer.
Okay. He does a podcast.
He's the killer. So anyway, he does. In America, we give you many chances, and he has a podcast.
Oh, fair enough.
He did it with a candlestick in the library.
So anyway,
He did it with a candlestick?
I know.
Dirty bastard.
please don't keep him going, Chemda, okay? The fake happier he is now, the more depressed he's going to be tomorrow.
I just like when he calls people dirty bastards.
Dirty bastard.
Dirty
bastard? What's that?
But I would hear Dennis Miller on his show, and making fun of the left and being, a guy can be a girl can be a guy. This side is so crazy. And then to me, I'm like, what are the side? If you don't know, if you're new or you're young, and you're new to what? New to Earth. If you're young and you're like, okay, if it's a two-party system, where is my place? Well, I don't know. Look at what one side is complaining about the other one. The red side is complaining. The blue side is what? Virtual signaling? Too nice? Being ridiculous about what bathrooms people want to use? And what's the other side saying? You shouldn't be taking kids from families.
And your guns are killing people.
But let's look at all sides. One can't just be right. Thank you.
Is it true that Obama, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is the argument that I've heard on Twitter, that the kids being separated and put in cages, Obama did as well?
No.
That's not true.
That's absolutely not true.
Then educate me, because this, again, I've got this from Twitter. I don't fucking know. I'm a British guy. I don't really care. But let's pretend I do. Educate me.
Well, now, what's different now is this zero tolerance policy of coming over illegally. You simply can't do it. And now, only under this administration, are kids being separated from families. That wasn't happening. That is a fact.
Okay, fine.
That's it.
Well, that's Twitter told.
I didn't know that either. No. I don't know, because for me, like, you can say Obama did something, and I'm like, woo, I got to check.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Right now, Obama is, seemingly the savior, and nothing that he did was wrong. But there's no way that he did a lot of wonderful things, but it's annoying where it's like, didn't Obama do this one thing? Yeah, yes, but Trump is the president now, and this is terrifying above and beyond anything what Obama did, because this is sort of like across the board, So I'm not going to argue that Obama didn't fuck with families or didn't.
Wow, that's a bold. He fucked with families. Dirty bastard.
That's it. Ding ding. All right, I can move on from this. Next, Keith. What else you got?
I'm not here to say he's not the worst. We're all the worst.
So nice to work with a professional, funny woman after all this time. Thank you, Hemda. Really is. Maybe you can come to the UK.
By the way, you like that shit movie Jumanji? Are you going to see the new Jurassic Park?
No, I think dinosaurs are shit. They're so overrated. Yeah? Who likes dinosaurs?
Everybody's talking about them everywhere you go.
Oh, just constantly. Dinosaurs. They fucking died millions of years ago. They're history. Forget it. Right. Space is the future. No, we'll not be going to see that. I want to go and see the new Dwayne Johnson movie, though, The Tower, I think it's called, where he's in a tower. Is that it? Is that the one?
You're thinking Die Hard 6, The Tower.
Yeah, I want to see that, man, because I love him. I think he's brilliant, and I love really tall buildings. So the two combined, it's like dream movie for me. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right.
I think that's an American movie, actually. I think it's from Hollywood. So
what is it that...
Look forward to that.
England's a real country, right? And you have many things.
Yes.
Why are all the real movies American?
Well, you say that. They're all made in England. If you want to get picky, they're all made in England. All the Star Wars movies were made in England, so you can kiss my dick.
Okay, there you go. There you have it.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Welcome to Debates Across the Pond. All right. Ian Lee, you want to follow? Go to youtube.com/Ian Lee. IAINLEE is a mistake when he was young, and he's sticking with it. All right. Ian Lee's also on Twitter at Ian Lee on Instagram.
They just have to hit like extra vowels in every fucking word.
Yeah.
Ian needs all those vowels. It's
Right. Your name's got a made-up sound in it. What the fuck is that? It's a made-up sound. What letter? C and H. That's ch. If we're doing names, which apparently we are, gender.
Oh, it's really good.
And the show is the late
You made
night.
that up really well.
The show is the late night alternative, and I'll play that clip that I was talking about. I thought you did a fantastic job. I think it's a great show, and you can find the Rabbit Hole on YouTube and see what him and Catherine are doing.
Talking, man.
Well, while you're on YouTube, okay, so we're gonna do
Oh.
our not yet. We're gonna shut this down, turn it back on. We're gonna put an exclusive video on YouTube. And it's the movie trailer thing. I'm going to describe a movie trailer to you that I'm watching on silent.
It's Dwayne Johnson. He's in a tower, and he's trying to climb to the top of it.
Who's talking? Is that me? And so I just want to know, because we haven't done it yet, so this is ahead of time.
Yes.
Keith and Ian,
Hello.
which one of you guys is going to win, and by how many points?
Well, in terms of this shitty little game, it might be Keith. In terms of life, it's me.
Okay, by how many points?
3.
Okay.
It's going to be a tight one, but I'll just pip him at the post.
Pip pip.
Are you dating now?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
No, I'm not dating now. No.
Because you're not ready, or what?
Because it's all too fresh. It's all too. I'm living in a room. I'm living in a shitty room, and I'm trying to sort out my life and my head and stay clean. So I'm not in the mood for.
I'm going
shenanigans.
a year no sex.
Can you imagine?
And he doesn't believe me. And every time I say it, I'm like, ugh, and then I go, no, it's fine.
But why would you? If love comes your way,
I won't know how to recognize it, so I need to step back for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. And if love comes my way within this year, calm down.
And are you doing, because you mentioned something earlier, like SLA and those things, are you doing anything like that around kind of sex, or are you doing like therapy around relationships?
Yeah. I've been going to Al-Anon, which is like really good. And I think it's like you said, it's the same 12 steps.
Yeah.
Like I am not addicted to alcohol. I am addicted to sex and love. So I have started going to those, but those are harder to find and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like it's the same thing. It's like I'm addicted to addicts.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to lighting my life on fire in certain ways. And so, and unfortunately, I have to put down people, and I love people.
Oh,
so I just have to step back for a minute.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard, isn't it? Life's fucking hard.
Yeah, but it's enjoyable. And these meetings help. Yeah.
There'll be enjoyment. I'm not enjoying it at the moment. But
Well, this is your fault. You're like, I'm making my big trip to New York City. I'll see the Naked Cowboy and TGI Fridays.
Fucking, I saw the Naked Cowboy.
I know.
Because my kids play this game called the Naked Cowboy.
Oh, no.
Where they'll run into the room naked and go, "Yeehaw, we're the Naked Cowboys!" And their mum told them off. Put some we call underpants, pants. Put some pants on. I don't need no pants, lady. That's my 6-year-old to his mother.
Cute.
I don't need no pants, lady.
He doesn't.
Didn't go down very well there, I'll tell you that. But I saw the Naked Cowboy. I gave him $4.
Okay.
Why? How'd you reach for?
Well, it was all I had in ones, and I wanted a picture. And I said, "How much is a picture?" He said, "I don't care." I said, "Is $4 enough?" He went, "Yeah, sure, I don't care." He didn't really care, but I had a great time. And you're saying there's TGI Fridays in New York?
Yeah, you
I'm
excited?
Sorted. That's where I'm going tonight. So if anyone's listening to this in New York, I will be at TGI Fridays, New York, at about 8 o'clock. I'll see you guys there. Should be fun.
Looks like we're having TGI Fridays tonight.